Hello again, and welcome back to the SWRA Podcast, where aging, wellness, and wisdom intersect. I am your host, Maggie Lazarre, and I am delighted that you've chosen to join us again. This is your pick me up podcast to kind of get you on your way as you face the day ahead. So, today I just want to talk about aging. I think last time in the last podcast, we talked about um, how grateful we should be to live to be a certain age, life expectancies, meaning that women are expected to live longer than men. But aging, I remember when I was just studying to be a nurse, like in the 80s, I guess, late 70s, early 80s. People did not think so much about aging as something that we had anything to do with. It was like more of a fatalistic, proposition where, oh, well, whatever happened, happened, what will be, that, everybody has a designated time, and all of that is true. But I don't remember a focus on wellness and health and thinking that there is something you can do to prolong your life, and not just prolong your life, but the quality of your life. Because personally, for example, I am not concerned about living to be 90. In fact, sometimes I think about it or I see somebody moving around frail, bent over, and I'm like, I don't really want to get to that point. I'd rather the Lord take me before when I'm still vital and able to move around. Unfortunately, we don't have a crystal ball, and we don't really have a say in when we go. But what we have come to believe is that lifestyle has a lot to do with how long you live, aging. Genetics, have a lot to do with that as well. The environment, the system. Oh my gosh, should we go into the system? Because you could have good genes, but if you are in a system that is designed to keep you down and deny you the basics of humanity, I mean, you might fall into the statistics, right? So we have come to believe at least the factors that we can control, meaning how we live our lives, how we manage stress, what we put in our bodies, right? So it's more of a holistic approach, and I'm a proponent of changing what you can, right? Manage what you can, because there is a lot about this crazy world that is outside of our control. And when we talk about wisdom, wisdom is the ability to realize you're not in control of a lot of things, right? So if we're looking at aging, we are becoming more aware, more accepting. We are embracing the notion that, yes, there is a lot you can do to improve the quality of your life. And like I said, I'm not worried about how long I live, but I do want to do what I can to improve the quality of whatever time I have here on this earth. And we can talk later on about the specifics, but we can start with genetics. And we need to know what is going on in our family, right? In our family tree. And when I used to teach CPR again, that was the thing. You have to know your family history. If you have a granddaddy, your father, uncles, brothers who all have a certain illness, well, ding, 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 you better check yourself because you are at risk. And remember, a risk doesn't mean you are going to get a disease. It just predisposes you to developing the disease. So there is something you can do to curb that, right? To curb that. Yes, your family could be diabetic, for example, but if you manage yourself, you manage your weight, you manage what you eat, you manage your stress, the things that you can control, yes, In fact, you're going to change the trajectory of your life, that you're not going to end up the same way as your grandparents because, science has evolved, knowledge, information, right? We have so much available to us. So, yes, we are not victims. We should not have a victims mentality. We should not feel victimized, at the mercy of the element. And no, we can't change the system that is against us, but we can try to put ourselves in the best position so we can have access to the things that are necessary to improve our life and thereby increasing longevity and how long we live. All right. I know it's a lot of medical, scientific stuff, but if we're going to talk about aging well, wellness, living well, and being wise about it, yes, we need to think about all those things. All right. So as you go out today, remember there is a lot you can do to improve your life. So don't act like you're a victim. You are not. You are not a victim. You are in charge of your life, and there is a lot you can do to manage and to change, improve it. All right. So go out there today and take charge of your life and make good decisions. So I'll talk to you next time. God loves you. I love you. Au revoir. À la prochaine. Bye.